and things like that. But I actually, as I'm saying, with the venues, I'd like to know what will it take? Is it going to take a partnership between us and the artist, or what type of platform will it take for that? But I think more than anything, as it relates to the talent, I think they need to step their game up too, because I definitely believe that the work that you put in shines, and then people will call you. I think so, you know. So what do you think about that?
Very, very insightful, very helpful. I want to just keep the flow, so if you have something to say, we can just make a line here, but please continue.
Okay, there's you. Alright. There's several problems to achieve that. The first thing is that when an artist comes to New York, you feel that New York is a big market and he overcharges the promoter. And we got to put something in place from Jamaica so the artist can know the value. Because the artist will come here and tell you they want $20,000. They're bringing up 35 people. So you got to find airfare, hotel, per diem. By the time you look around, that artist is costing you $40,000. It's not bad if he can put 3,000 or 4,000 people in a venue.
Right.
But you're lucky if you get 500 people.
You're lucky.
Okay? So that has to be fixed. Somebody got to put something in place so when these artists are traveling to New York, especially New York, they know their value. Because they have some people with money who thinks that, yeah, this artist is hot. They're going to fill up the venue and they put up the money. And then before the end of the night, they got to be running to the ATM to pay their bills. So something got to be put in place so the artists know their value. Okay, because that's where a big problem why artists can't get work, because they come and they bleed the promoter, and then after the promoter do one show, they can't afford to do no more. Okay? Second, the radio personalities. Most of the radio personalities in New York, we have several radios that we have so-called pirate stations, we have internet radio, and most of the radio personalities, they're on there trying to get jobs as a DJ. They're not being radio personalities. They're advertising to be a DJ. So they mix music, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. That's all they get. You don't get enough of the music for you to soak in, for you to like the music, okay? Also, there's another problem with that, with the artists. They're just putting out too much music.
Yep.
It's like they just sing a music, throw it up against the wall, and see if it sticks. And that has to change. Okay? The days of albums. Albums don't mean anything anymore. It's singles. And they have to learn that. So if you do 12 or 13 or 14 or 15 songs, choose the best one. Release the best one, and then the real personalities have to play the song to almost its entirety, so the people can feel the song, learn the song, so even when they come out to party, they can react to the song. With this mixing thing, nobody plays the intro to the song. So if you're a DJ and you play the intro, the whole dance floor is like this. And then after about 30 seconds, oh, what a song in there. And, you know, so the real personalities have to play a role. Each person, you're not going to play every song from the beginning. But even choose one song and play it from beginning to end for a month, so that the people can hear the song, get used to the song, and react to the song. So when the artists come, he can get a better attendance, because artists like what's his name? Richard Stevens.
Yeah.
He have a catalog of beautiful songs, nice songs. But we can't put 200 people in a venue.
Why?
An artist like Richie Stevens should be getting at least 800-900 people because he has a beautiful catalog. But because it not talk about on the woman, and it not talk about gun, and that, the DJ is not playing them like that. Or if they do play a song, they play 20 seconds, so you never get to learn the song. So when you say Richie Stevens, nobody knows who Richie Stevens is. So I'm going to sum up. Touch me. I'm just going to so like I say, first the artist got to know their worth because they're charging too much. Second, the real personalities, choose one song and just play from beginning to end so the people can get used to it. Okay, if you have a song you like, just play from beginning to end. And somewhere down the line, you guys going to have to give us some songs as real personalities that you think can take reggae to the next level internationally out of Jamaica. Thank you.
Thank you. Very insightful. Very insightful. Yeah. And I want to just provide some context. So we started our Summit series in Oakland, California. We then went to Chicago. We then went to Toronto, and then we went to Atlanta. The top concerns that we found at all of these summits was number one was lack of unity. Right. So this was the number one. Every area that we went to, there was infighting amongst the main players that was hindering the progress of the music. Number two was lack of access to capital. So the promoters, in terms of money to put on shows, production value, those things. And then number three was lack of knowledge. A lot of people were making mistakes simply because they didn't know better. So, you know, we all know the stories about people taking their mortgage money, them are going to throw a dance, then throw them partner job, then do all of these things, and they don't hire the correct team to do it, and so that money goes down the drain and we don't hear. And I'm not talking about 2,000 or 3,000, I'm talking about people putting up sometimes 50, 60, 70,000 with a pipe dream and not realizing that it really is an industry and a business that takes a professional team. Are you ready, my sister? The floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Barbara De La Rue, but I go as Roxy on the radio. I proudly represent Irie Jam. I'm a new personality for the station as of 2 weeks ago. Shout out to the team, Donna, Denise, Jesse, everyone. So prior to Irie Jam 93.5, I was at Radio 103.9, I was at 95.5 PLJ, I was at WBLS, I was at WLAB. I've run the gamut of the stations in New York. So speaking to the issue of lack of knowledge and to what you said about DJs mixing and the personalities not doing anything, the behind the scenes that you don't know that you should know as a radio personality is there's a thing called the PPM world. And if you're in radio or in the record business, you should definitely know why the radio personalities are doing what they're doing now and the DJs are doing what they're doing now. Because I always say this, and I'm not afraid to say it in front of a room of whether it's white radio professionals or black, we are puppets as radio personalities. We go like this, they tell us what to do. So whereas you want things to be mixed from beginning to end, the programmer, the people in programming that sit in those seats are telling us what to do. So we want to play from the beginning to the end, but we can't. And going back to PPM, it's because of how we measure how people listen to music. It's attention span times what wants to be heard. So if something is sent to your house, there's a specific box sent to your house that measures what you listen to. And if you're in a home or in an establishment where a certain song is played as many times as 10 times a day, that's why you hear the same 10 songs over and over and over on the radio. Why we do not have the freedom to mix the way we want to. because other people are governing and controlling how we listen to the radio. So if you want to see that change, you have to be it. So we can sit here and talk about it, but if we're not sitting at the table, which we talked about today at the 2 to 4 program on Irie Jam with Jay-Z and NFL, if you're not sitting at the table, you're not going to hear those changes. You're not. But you have to understand what's happening behind the scenes, and it's people telling us how to play on the radio, what to play on the radio, for how long, what time, when, and where. So we cannot sit here and say radio personalities are not doing my job. I definitely am. But if somebody is telling me to do something and it has to do with my job and whether I keep it or not, guess what? I'm going to conform. We're supposed to rebut. This is supposed to be a debate. I'm just speaking to you from me coming from a white corporate all station where you think it's all black because you see the letters WBLS, to now working at an Irie Jam radio where it's completely different.
Yeah. Okay. In, say, Jamaican radio, the radio personality does not answer to any programmer. Each radio personality play what they want to play, how they want to play. It's not a BLS, it's not a LIB. We don't have a playlist. We don't have a playlist that we should play for. And maybe that's one of the problems.
But you do know I'm talking to you from the perspective of somebody that not a Jamaican radio, in American radio, but I'm just giving you were saying how radio personalities don't. I'm just speaking at it from my perspective.
Right, because I'm talking from my perspective, and all radio personalities in our community play from an independent playlist, their own playlist. Nobody's governing them. Maybe if we had somebody governing it, but then when they start governing it, because there was a time in Jamaica that reggae music could not play on radio on a Sunday, okay, because it was considered ghetto music, it was considered Rasta music, okay. Then when I came to America, and all the music that we played on the radio on Sunday, the Stylistics, the Whispers, Roberta, just to name a few, Temptations, right? When we check where they come from, Detroit, ghetto. Memphis, ghetto. Chicago, ghetto. Philadelphia, ghetto. So the programming is also a problem.
Definitely. I'm going to jump in here. This is fascinating.
Yes, very.
However, we have to move the program. We also have DJ Roy, who is going to be going live. Irie Jam family, are we ready?
Yes.
Are we ready to tap in DJ Roy? Are we ready to tap into DJ Roy?
Alright, oh, we're playing live too? Alright, we're live, and pretty interesting conversation. Let me say hi to Mr. Pat from VP Records. It's always a pleasure. The backbone of reggae music worldwide. Would you please give Mr. Pat from VP Records a big round of applause? And my mom is in my foot there, I hope so. Now, I heard what Desi was saying, and of course, and also please give a big round of applause for our newest member on Irie Jam Radio, Roxy. Give her a big round of applause.
Yes. She has a nice voice. We like our voice. Yes.
I like our vibes. So, as to what Desi was saying, I understand what he's saying.
I guess on the road at that time, so we just...
We're upstairs?
we're waiting to link up with...
Upstairs?
Yes. At any moment, you're going to hear me just switch right over to DJ Roy. I'm
okay.
My producer, Jordan, to tell me, you know when they say when...
Well, DJ Roy is actually on location right now at SANDZ Bar and Grill.
I'm not here, DJ Roy.
Okay, upstairs? On location right now at SANDZ Bar.
Yes, it's at SANDZ Bar and Grill. I'm just waiting to hear DJ Roy.
Come on, Daddy, you. Upstairs?
I'm not hearing DJ Roy.
Alright, DJ Roy? Cut off upstairs and carry you. Me go and talk in time, me hear me show it up. Alright? But as to what Bessie was saying, you know, there's some, not just truth what you're saying, but everything's not black and white anymore. We're living in a different era. Roxy was talking about, you know, programming when she's on BLS and what's called. I can tell you programming from Irie Jam, from Sirius Satellite Radio to WLIB. And I'll give you a little thing about Sirius Satellite Radio. I did Sirius Satellite Radio for 3 years. I had a program on from Monday to Friday, a 5-hour program. 5 hours from Monday to Friday, and I didn't pick one song that I played for 4 years. Not one song I picked. The songs were picked for me. I was allowed to speak 2 times in each hour for a minute and a half. Couldn't go past that minute and a half. So when we're talking about real radio, it is truly governed, and it's really totally out of our control. Luckily, we're on Irie Jam Radio and we have the freedom to do a lot more. But at the same time, do remember we're on lease time, radio time. We pay for the air time, which is extremely expensive. So we have to try to find a way to play the music, give information, entertain the people, and move records. And that's hard. And sometimes we fall short, and sometimes we make our mark. But the goal is always the same, to give information, entertain, play music, and sell records. Now, one of the biggest problems we have, people not buying records anymore. That's one of the biggest problems.
Everything is digital.
Right. That's one of the biggest problems. So no matter, like, I will play a song for 10 weeks, and when I look at a song that I play for 10 weeks, it sold 20 copies.
Yeah.
20 copies sold. When you look at, you just mentioned Barry's Hammond, doing venues pulling 15, 16, 17,000 people. When you look at his record sales, it's 10,000. So how can Barry's be pulling 15,000 people here, 20,000 people here, and never ending, to me, one of the baddest albums, sell 10,000 units? So there's a lot that needs to be changed, but it doesn't start and end with radio. A lot needs to be changed. And again, it comes to what I keep saying too. Support the things that you love, otherwise they will disappear. If you like something, go out and support it. SANDZ Bar and Grill, I like this place. I can't come every night, but I come out and support it when I can. Spending money in your community makes the dollar circulate, makes us stronger. So, you mentioned Richie Stevens, great catalog, but still not moving units. Why? Why is that? Why is it that we have, there's a festival going on right now in Spain. Spoke to Dub Master Chris and Cynthia Shea. Do you know how many people has been to that venue since Friday? The count as of Tuesday afternoon, when I spoke to him at about 6 o'clock in the evening, 180,000 people have been in that venue since Friday. If we put every artist you can think of in a Royal Wilkins Park, we can barely do 30,000 people. There's a problem, but who has the answer? This conversation we're having today, hopefully will put us in the right direction. But even this conversation can't end here. It comes to, no matter what we want to say or do, dollars and cents. If you're not supporting, if you're not buying, you can't tell me, say, look, Barry, say, you don't want a Barry's album. You can't tell me, say, look, the Diamonds, I don't have no Diamonds album. You can't tell me, say, Alkaline, I love the place, and when you show him have 20,000 people, and when you look at his sales, 5,000 units off of one of the baddest dancehall albums for the year. We have to start supporting with our money, not talk. Money. And until we start supporting with our money, we'll have this meeting again next year and next year and the year after that. Start spending money back in our communities. The restaurants, the barber shops, the beauty salons, everything's tied into the music. Everything, because when it's a show right in Park, SANDZ car, the beauty salon them car, the barber shop them car, man a bill pants, man a bill shirt, woman a bill frock. When the music is right, we all will reap the reward. But we've got to start spending money. Until we do, everything is just talk.
Give thanks.